All right, so this is just unbelievable, the stat. This is from my good friend Jason Stark of The Athletic. Teams that blew a 5-run lead or larger, coughed up at least 5 unearned runs, stuffed 3 errors into the old box score, and included both a balk and catcher's interference in those festivities. How many teams have ever done that, you ask, he writes. Exactly 1 team has done that, at least since earned and unearned runs became an official stat in both leagues in 1913. And that team is the 2024 Yankees on Wednesday night. And one additional cherry note about the feat. Not just postseason games. In fact, the Yankees are the first team to have a game like that in any game in the last 112 seasons, postseason or regular season.
And you know what's incredible, Michael? I can't say that I'm surprised. Because when would you see something like that? I mean, that's a lot of bad. Never mind the fact that it happened in a World Series game facing elimination.
And it couldn't have gone any better for the Yankees. They smacked around Jack Flaherty like they owned him. Knocked him out of the game, 1 out into the second. You're forcing the Dodgers, right, to get, at that point, 4 out of 20 outs out of the bullpen if there's no bottom of the ninth. And if there's a bottom of the ninth, with their they got 23 outs out of the bullpen.
Just me, a guy who does this show and pulls for, I know you guys hate this, and does root for New York to do well and for people to be happy. I was already off to thinking about how fun our shows Thursday and Friday were going to be. I was so far down the road already and thinking about, oh my God, this is now actually going to become a conversation. And if you win 1 more, all you got to do was steal 1 in L.A. Steal 1 in L.A. and you're talking about the greatest history baseball's ever seen.
And if they had just forced a Game 6, Peter, it would be the first time that's ever happened in the World Series.
Right.
I was just forcing a Game 6, so already they would have made history and a chance to even make it more. And, Michael, I was thinking this in the 9th. God, if they could find a way to just make Buehler throw a bunch of pitches.
Yep.
And tie this game up. Win it in extra innings.
They have no Game 7 starter.
What in God's name would they have in Game 6? I know they'd have a day off.
Well, they'd have Yamamoto and hope that he games them late. But if there was a Game 7, they'd have no starter.
They'd have no starter. They'd have their bullpen. You know, Dryden, I don't think would. I mean, I guess he could pitch in Game 6, but you know, you wonder about his effectiveness. Listen, Michael, he wasn't lights out, but that was a hell of an effort by him. You know, getting out of the trouble that he and to give them the length that they got.
Oh, he was amazing. He was amazing.
It was pretty impressive. You know, listen, I know the Yankee fans don't care 1 iota, nor should they, about the Dodgers, but that's a hell of a team. It just really is a very good. And can you just imagine, Michael, the season they would have had if Glasnow doesn't get hurt?
Well, I mean, all their starters.
Yeah, if Shohei Ohtani was able to pitch. Even Kershaw's availability, even though he's never been great in the postseason and he's at the end of his career. But
Gonsolin, I mean, so many of their guys just got hurt.
And that's
their starters.
And that's why they had to do what they did. They just didn't have the starters, Michael. But it's crazy going back to previewing the league championship series, like who would you rather play, the Padres or the Dodgers? We both said the Dodgers because we looked at their starting pitching as a weakness. You know, you were picking the Yankees, and a lot of people were because of the weakness. Everybody that we talked about the series with, Boog Shambi, Tim Kurchin, is this eventually going to come to roost, Michael? Just always having to rely so much on the bullpen. And they win the series in 5. Now, I do think it would have come to roost if the Yankees could have won that game last night, but the Dodgers didn't let them do it.
One quick thing. So, I still know that there's that young Yankee fan inside this body, like, grew up living and dying with the team. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there with Paul getting ready to go on the Yes postgame show. And the Dodgers are celebrating and cavorting on the field. And there must have been 15,000 Dodger fans that the Yankees allowed to stay in the ballpark cheering. And it made me sick to my stomach. I hope the Yankees sat down. They were loud, Peter. They were loud. And I hope the Yankees watch that, because you never want that to happen. You never want somebody to celebrate like that on your field, as they are just, I mean, they're joyously dancing around and the kids are running in the outfield. It was sickening. Sickening. And the Yankees allowed it to happen. Not saying that the Dodgers couldn't win the World Series. Let them win in Dodger Stadium. Don't let them do it on the sacred ground of Yankee Stadium.
It kind of reminded me of 04.
Yeah,
You were there in 04. How many Red Sox fans were in that building after Game 7?
a lot. And 03, they lost the World Series on 03 there.
Yeah, but at least there were no Marlin fans.
Right, because there aren't any.